We're live.
Bones, culture of thrones, set ablaze by the majority. Tired of complacency, ready for the anarchy, cause what's left to lose? Everything is lost. Time to turn to the new. Stand in your ground, hold it. Man-made earthquakes shake the foundation of centuries of colonies. Time for erasure of stains. Questions. Whys. What about us?
Good evening, everybody. You are tuned in to the Leon Block. We're bringing you something special tonight that we are gonna do on a weekly basis, every Wednesday at 6 Central. We're gonna be doing a podcast called Wrongfully Convicted. And with me tonight, and probably most Wednesday nights I have with me, is Marvina Haynes, who is the founder of Minnesota Wrongfully Convicted Judicial Reform. Also, she has a brother, Marvin Haynes, she is fighting for as well, who is wrongfully convicted. And it's such a pleasure to have you here with me, Marvina. And we also have Bud, who will be, I think something happened. Hopefully he comes back. But I want Marvina to go ahead and let people know who you are, Marvina.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marvina Haynes. My pronouns are she, her. My organization, I'm the founder of Minnesota Wrongfully Convicted Judicial Reform. And as Chaz said, I also have a brother who has been wrongfully incarcerated for the last 18 years. So we started using our voice to advocate for not only my family, but other families who are currently wrongfully incarcerated or totally innocent.
No, and thank you, because you do such amazing work, and not even just with wrongfully convicted, but also as well for people that are out here on parole and probation, and fighting for them as well, because they're voiceless as well, because people think that they're on parole, or we say that we want that second chance. America is so about that, giving people second chances, but when it really comes down to it, we realize that that second chance in life sometimes is a lot harder to achieve than what it really looks like. And we've experienced that with just situations here in Minneapolis with, there's first of all, before we even get into a conversation, let's introduce Mr. Bud Whitehorn, and tell the people who you are.
How you doing, everybody? My name is Bud Whitehorn. I'm in Rochester. I'm a community liaison here in Rochester. We created this position back in 2021. Somebody to represent the African American or the Black community in Rochester, to bridge that gap with altercations with the Rochester Police Department, and also to engage and create relationships to tackle the community problems through advocacy. Also co-founder a group called Community Engagement Response Team, CERT, as well.
Yes, and y'all do very, very great work. I know I've seen you guys did after there was a murder in downtown Rochester. I seen that you guys set up on the weekends and would be doing activities during bar hours. I really love that, with cutting people's hairs and just bringing unity where it's really needed sometimes, and I think people really don't fully comprehend of.
Yeah. So what we did, somebody was murdered downtown in the summer of 2021, and we formed a group of volunteers that are of influential individuals in the community. We had people that was coaches. We had people that used to be in the streets, ex-gang members, and people, some just old school teachers that had influence through different areas. And we formed a team. And our mission was to shift the culture. The culture of, like you said, to create unity. Instead of, that guy got killed downtown from a dice game. So what happened was, instead of somebody it started with an argument. And instead of somebody trying to break up, or, at that point, they could have tried to intervene. They didn't say anything. And then it got into a fight. They didn't break the fight up. Instead of breaking the fight up, they pulled the cameras out. So this is the culture we're dealing with right now. You don't want to intervene. You don't want to break the fight up, or you don't want to create peace. You rather stream it on social media and make and ridicule it. So we went down there to shift the culture and bring love back into the community. We was going down there every Friday and Saturday night for 4 months in 2021, from the end of May until September. And we went down there to shift that culture and create relationships and pretty much keep the police out of our business, to police our community ourselves, and also show the police how to police us. And I thought we did a pretty good job. There was no arrests. There was and what we found out is that the police was able to stay out of our way, and they were letting us do our thing, man. And shout out to Rochester Police Department for understanding that it's gonna take us to save us, and be willing to try something different. So it was a lot of times that a lot of the business owners that they didn't understand what we were doing gave us a little pushback. They was able to step in to let us stay down there. It was a lot. It wasn't easy, but out of those 4 months, we stopped a lot of possible sexual assaults. We broke up a lot of fights. We broke up a lot of different situations where somebody could have got hurt. And at the end of the summer, what we found out is that people started mimicking our behavior. So we felt like mission was accomplished, so we didn't have to go back.
So I have Darnell is on the phone. Can you say hello, Darnell?
Hey, how you doing?
Can you guys hear him?
Hello, Darnell.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Man, what's up, bud? What's the business?
Man, same thing, man.
Man, I told you, man, time to correct these people, man.
Oh yeah.
Let the world know how corrupt Homestead County is with their law when it comes to people of color. And all I'm gonna do is just tell the people how it really is, especially when you're a target. See, when you're a known person down there, when you out there in the streets hustling and everything, you're a known person. So you get subject to be charged for anything happening if you in the vicinity of what a crime happening. That's what happened to me.
No. So can you get into the details of your crime, of your wrongful conviction, of basically just lay out the.
I'm gonna lay it out for you.
Yeah.
Back in 2015, I went to this place called the River House to look for a room because I had just got out of prison in 2014 of November. So this guy died in January of 15. So I go there 1 week. The lady said she didn't have no room, but I can check back in a week or so. So this particular day I checked back. This the day that Daniel Paul King passed away. Now, they saying, he passed away walking up to the place, his roommate was walking in off the street. So I walked right past him into the house, straight to the bathroom. Now, while I'm going to the bathroom, the roommate and the guy walking towards me. I don't even see him. So I go in the bathroom, come out. His room is right next to the bathroom. So I happen to, when I'm coming out going past, I look in, see Dan standing there. I go in and ask him, is the lady there who's been doing it? He said, no. I said, man, it's been a while since I seen you, and left. That was at 4:03. I got there, 4:06, I left there. Going by my business, I'm gone. Now, 2 hours later, they said a man passed away at 6:07 in the evening. Now, this is January. In April, I got arrested on another charge. The police come see me in jail. Ask me, do I know this guy? I said, yeah, I know him. Then they say, well, he died of an overdose. Did you sell him some heroin? I said, no, I ain't sold him no heroin. And that was it. Now, they don't come bother me no more until the March 4th of 2016. Now, let me tell you about that. They don't send, okay, if you look at the crime scene, you will see they got a spoon, they got a cotton in the spoon, they got some type of brown powder on the table, and then they got a needle on the floor with some reddish liquid in it, both in blood and water. But what they don't have at the crime scene is a lighter and water. If this man supposed to shot some dope, you're gonna need that. The spoon looked brand new, so it wasn't burnt or nothing. The cotton looked brand new, clean, white as snow. Now, the roommate, he gonna say when he called 911 and told the dispatcher this, I just got home and I found my roommate unresponsive. So he said he don't know what happened. He don't know nothing. He just found him unresponsive and gave a phone to another resident in that place. But 2 years later, all of a sudden, I take the police and the investigator and the prosecutor get with them. They concoct this story. They said the man told, the roommate said his name is McGuire. McGuire said that Dan told him, oh, I feel good. I just did some heroin. And that was I met with my guy. He never said he met with me. He never met with my guy. That was him in the room. And I did some heroin. And how could that be when you just told the dispatcher, you don't even know what's wrong. You don't even know what's going on. But not 2 years later, you gonna say the man told you this? How can he tell you? He dead. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first lie did. Now, the crime scene. If you get the crime scene report and other interviews, you will see this officer named Officer Travis Ricky. He gonna tell McGuire that, hey, you ain't got to worry about me. We got your back, and it's imperative that he get charged with this case. What do you mean by imperative? Now, this is before I got anything to do with this. They don't even bring me into this place until the next year. This is when they introduced me into this. Because when they looked at the surveillance video, it showed me there.
Right.
2 hours before this man died. So now they putting their little scheme together. But if you look at the police report, this guy named David Michael Lambert said that him underlying issues on the health side. The liver was swollen, his lung was congested, the right was 700 of the fluid, the left was 560. So he had some issues, a tumor on his liver. So the man had some issues. Now, me and my brother, we did this. I did a three-way, and I told my brother to call the coroner's office. When I called the coroner's office, I told him that I was some kin to Dan. And I like to know, they say he died of a heroin overdose, but I want to know what he really died of. She said, no, he died of cirrhosis and pneumonia. I'm like, what? So I tell my lawyer this, and they don't do nothing about it. They don't do nothing about it. So now I go to trial. Now I don't get none of this crime report, none of this until after I get convicted. I got convicted in March. I don't get this crime scene report stuff until September 12th of 2016. Now I'm going to court. I take an omnibus here. I contested omnibus. Now we in the contested omnibus. The state don't present no evidence or nothing. And quite naturally, I don't introduce no evidence. But the judge Wallace, Kathy M. Wallace, she gonna bond it over for trial. She gonna talk about we hold a strong suspicion that you might have could have done it. So we gonna leave it up to a jury to decide. Hold on, lady. Where is the evidence at to bond me over? Did nobody say they saw me sell no drugs? Did nobody tell me? Did nobody see the man even use no drugs? So how could you say that I sold this man some drugs? Now the statute stipulates, the statute is 609.195. They say anybody who sell, give away, bonded, or exchange, deliver, administer, distribute, class 1 or 2 narcotics is guilty of a third-degree murder. They never charged me with no type of drug crime. They charged me with a straight murder, like I shot the man up and the man died. Never charged me with a drug crime. So how did I promulgate this man the heroin? Y'all said I sold him heroin, but ain't no proof of it. Ain't nobody said nothing. Now, the pathologist who did the autopsy on this guy, he said the cause of death of acute heroin alcohol intoxication. Don't know which one caused his death. He said he could have died of alcohol poisoning. Just as well he could have died of some heroin. But it wasn't even a legal dose of heroin in his system. See, what they fail to realize is when you're a heroin user, you're going to have metabolites of morphine in your system from days ago. That's why when he said 1 month is a poppy seed in his system, because the man didn't do no drug. He didn't do that heroin, what is supposed to be heroin, in the room. And do you know when they tested that stuff? 14 months later. They didn't test it at the scene, because if you get the crime scene report, you will see that this officer named Brian Rosell and William Cartel, they don't say that they have no nit kit to test whatever that stuff was in that room.
Right.
So they don't test this stuff till March.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And they arrested me March 4th of 2016. Who knows what they sent to the BCA? Who knows? Don't nobody know. And on top of that, the police who came there first, who say he took the man off the bed and started CPR on him. But the man had a blanket over him. But he don't know how the blanket got on him. How body off the bed by yourself. Well, the man was 6'1", 217 pounds. By yourself. Because he didn't take him off the bed. The roommate and this guy named gave his answer. Hey, this phone for the call.
Yeah.
Call you back?
Yes, sir. Can you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll be waiting
Thank you for using GTL.
So we're gonna have Mr. McDaniels call. He's gonna call back.
I don't think. Are you still there, Marvina?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was something wrong with the sounds or what. Didn't know if it was my connection or not.
Yeah, sometimes our connection we get a little messed up, but somebody should be right back. Hold on a second. There we go.
Okay.
Who's jumping back
Okay.
in?
Well, I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what just happened.
It's independent media. This is what happens, man. It happens.
So we have Mr. McDaniels back on the phone, and I just had one question before you continue: is why a judge and not a jury when it came down to trial? Oh, I gotta put him on speaker. Hold on.
Prejudice and racist.
Yeah.
So I knew she was. So I had to take a chance to prove she was. First, I tried to get her removed off my case. If I go in front of this lady 5 times, she put the one on me. She had said they had proper cause to come arrest me. I had to go to a pre-trial in front of the trial in front of, and I think a bail reduction here. All this in front of this lady. So what the Constitution said, 26-4-3 said I can remove a judge at call. I don't need no reason. Long as I do it before a trial date, which I did, but the chief judge at the time, Jeffrey Thompson, wouldn't allow me to have her removed. So that's, so I take it, and another reason I took a bench trial is this too. In 2005, they did a several things on me. They would set up, somebody told me they could come buy some drugs from me.
Okay.
So they set up a sting. So when they set their sting up, when they CRI came, he never approached me, never said nothing to me, nothing, and bought some drugs from a white female that he didn't know, that didn't nobody tell him to, and all this and that. Another setup. So 7 months later, they come arrest me, said, I got a conspiracy and a conspiracy to a 3rd-degree sale. I'm like, how's that? Who I sold some drugs to? Nobody. When you look at the film and everything, and when I went to trial, I took a 12-person trial. That's why I don't trust Olmsted County, period. 12 Europeans, they looking at this video, they seeing this man bag drugs for somebody else, going about their business. This girl don't come with me, this girl don't leave with me, nothing. And then they don't even arrest the person who sold the drugs. They come arrest me and give me 51 months in trial. went to the appeals court and all this and that. No good. I've still got convicted, still couldn't win it in the appeals court. This is rigged. Minnesota is rigged against brothers of color. How you gonna give me a sale and a conspiracy when ain't nobody on this case but me? And then this girl sold the drugs, and the CRI said it on the stand. The police don't say, well, we know who she is, but we ain't got enough evidence to arrest her. What the hell do you mean you ain't got enough evidence to arrest her? She the one made the sale, not me. So why you didn't arrest her? So she could tell you that I sent her. But see, you can't, because I ain't had nothing to do with it. Already knew that dude was a rat. So I didn't mess with him. They had some updates. They set it up again. So I took that 51 months. And I was like, all right, I'm going to have to figure out a way how I'm going to get them back. So they just did this to me again in 2016. This time I said I'm going to take a bench trial because they got to go by the law.
Right.
You understand? The jury's got to, they could go on their feelings and emotions, but the judge got to follow the law. And she did not follow the law because she used to be a prosecutor, and she was doing the prosecutor's work. That judge, folks, listen to the fact. Now, if you look at that video, if you listen to that 911 call, and if you read that police interview of the night they questioned, how could it be that you're going to arrest me? Because I'm a drug dealer, but everybody else in this house, you don't arrest. You don't arrest me for a year later. So a year later, but how? You folks have evidence. You folks have a person saying, I saw him sell it to him. I know what he sold it to him in. I know how much he paid. All this to get a third-degree murder charge on me. They didn't do nothing. The only witness said, I ain't see him buy no drugs. I ain't see him use no drugs. Because you know what, Chad? The man didn't use no drugs. But he didn't die off a heroin overdose.
And see, that's what I want to get into more, because you were never charged when it came to the overdose with sales.
No.
Just with the death.
They convict me of my past. All they were talking about was my past, and I ain't even take no stand. They hit me with a hearsay, and they convict me on some sprinkle.
Yep, I was just looking at that.
Two things didn't even further introduce against me. The sprinkle didn't further come in unless I took the stand.
Right.
The hearsay should never been allowed, because the person who relaying the hearsay could be the suspect himself, because he was the last person with this man when he passed away. Two other people came and left out that room too. So who's to say them other two Europeans didn't have nothing to do with it? But they were never called for witness. They never got nothing, never got interviewed. But from that night, that's it. He had the mindset on me because he sold drugs, so we know he had to do it. But they never proved whatever that shit was in that room. They never proved it was in his system. That's one thing. They never proved that I gave or sold or whatever they want to say that he got it. All they say, because you there and drugs there, you supplied it. And they got a conviction. And they got it up hell. And Minnesota Supreme, Minnesota Appellate Court, and the 8th Circuit. I went over to the 8th Circuit in St. Louis too. That's why I told my friend, I'm glad one of my friends down here put me on my visa, and I told her I got to take this to the streets. I got to put this out in the open to let people know was Europeans but me. Now, I know how this heroin thing go. I know how this overdose act. I saved 6 people from dying, and they was all Europeans. From dying of overdose. So I know. And so nobody see this how it go. When you shoot dope, and if you're gonna overdose, you're gonna overdose right where you shoot your dope at. The needle gonna either stay in your arm or fall out of your waist on the floor by your feet. It ain't gonna never be 10, 11 feet away from you. You not gonna stand up and talk and do all this and that when he said that man's going acting crazy, running through the house, yelling and all this and that. You don't do none of that. None of that. Because the drug is going to your heart, and when it hits your heart, if you're not strong enough or whatever, and they don't catch you in time, you die right there. You don't come in and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go lay down, take a nap, and then you leave all your drugs on the table.
Yeah, that just don't seem right to me either. Right.
And the roommate, the room is looking like a jail room. There's 2 beds in each room.
Okay.
What he said was, and there's a desk with the TV on it. He said he was watching TV. Now the only chair in that room, if the crime scene photo, the only chair in the room is over there by the roommates in front of the foot of his bed. So if the man was at the desk, he said he couldn't see what he was doing because it looked like he was writing something down. How could you be shooting dope, writing something down? It looked like you writing. You got to angle yourself to get to the vein in your arm to shoot up. Now, they found a little prick, a little pin in his finger. They're trying to say he shot the dope in his finger. Ain't no pain in his finger. Don't no expert shoot no dope in no finger. Don't nobody do that. That's 1,000 dope fingers, and I'll tell you this.
Right.
Don't shoot no dope in your finger. You know? So, if you look at the crime scene, the only chair in the room is over there by the roommates. So, how could he be at the desk doing something when the only chair is over there by you? He had to be sitting over there by you. You understand? But you don't see no drugs. You don't see none of this until you come back from calling 911. Then he gonna say how he saw it. It was some paper or something on the desk, and he got to moving around, wondering what happened. And then that's when he supposed to spotted the drugs.
So I know you sent a lot of this to Marvina, right?
Yeah.
So okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do another interview with you. Not even, and it won't even, we're not even a part 2 of this, because I want to be able to show people exactly what you're talking about. So, because from what I'm understanding and what I'm reading and what you're saying, you should not be behind bars right now. You should not be incarcerated.
This is what I'm saying.
So,
I didn't do nothing. My past what got me here.
and
I was a fall guy.
right.
They used me as a fall guy on some shit that either them roommate and his buddy called this man death, or the man died or other complications. That's why I asked my Marvina to set me up a GoFundMe where I could get an independent person doctor to look at the cause of death and try to get a lawyer, because I've been straight railroad. They gave me 13 years for something I ain't do.
Right.
This is the second time they hit me up, with no evidence on me, but they hit me up twice on this. I can't take this one way down.
No, and you know what's crazy is I totally understand of being, somebody from Rochester, up in that area. And I know how they come at us. And what I mean by us is we have that jacket. And if they ain't gonna get us on something, they're gonna get us on something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to help any way that I can. what I want to do is I want to get everything that Marvina has, and I want to be able to show it and especially like the picture, so people get the picture and not just see it by your words, because
Right. That's what I was telling my Marvina. I got to show them what I'm saying.
right,
What I'm saying, I got to show them so the people could see this. They ain't gonna believe it. They just hear me say it. Show this to them. That's why I told Bud to turn over the crime scene photo, the 911 call, the ambulance. When they say they didn't do nothing to help this man because he was already gone with the police trying to say they try to run the help, which they did.
You have 1 minute remaining.
If you get all that, then we can walk through this.
yes,
So I got railroad.
I do want to walk through this. So give me a couple of days. I will get up with Marvina tomorrow. Call Marvina tomorrow, and we're gonna set something up where we'll walk through all of this and to be able to show the people. So let's set that up. Let's do this. I will get all of that tomorrow from Marvina. And we will touch base, brother. Thank you so much. And
Man, thank you for even listening, because this is the truth. We're going to expose these people, man.
yes, we nonstop. I will be working on this. So you got me, you got the viewers, you got Bud, you got Marvina. So, and I know there's Audrey Robbins is on here. There's some other people that said tell you that they loved you.
Thank you for using GTL.
So I do want to be able to walk through this because what I heard is an injustice. And just looking at what I could find online from the appeals, I have a lot of questions that obviously have not been answered.
Yeah, Chaz, this has been a tough one, man. He was convicted from everything they have is circumstantial. Everything they have no power, no straight evidence, anything. He really was convicted by his background. So this has been a tough few years for him, man. And they really had nothing, absolutely nothing. And the paperwork that I'm gonna send out and point out all the misconduct and all the everything that they failed to. I don't know if he answered. You asked why he didn't take a jury trial.
He said, he said that he picked a judge because they got to go by the law.
They got to go by the law, absolutely. So then, another factor of that is here in Rochester, we're not gonna have a jury of our peers, man.
Right.
You're not gonna have one black person on that jury, man. And that's been happening way too often here in Rochester. So our best shot is to take the bench trial.
Right. No,
and he didn't. It didn't work, man, because of they didn't operate inside of the law.
And even going back to when he talked about his first conviction of how they didn't have no evidence then, but they wanted him so bad, so he took a deal.
Yeah.
I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like even my own brother. Speaking on, not a lot of people know, but my brother's looking at 30 years to life.
I know.
For hearsay shit. You know what I'm
saying?
I know,
man. I've been praying for him too, man. I know, man.
I definitely I appreciate that, but there's so many people that I grew up with in Rochester. That I see every day. There's other ones that have made it out, but they still got that target on their back.
Still got the target, man.
They're waiting. They're just Rochester police or Olmsted County. They're just waiting for somebody to make the wrong step so that they can get them.
So what I say is, and then because it'll be a turnaround. We can we got the people that went back when I was on the streets 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Then you got the new cops that's coming in, the detectives and everything. But I think the real target comes from the system, not from the county or the state. It's the system, and this is what we fighting against, and this is why we need to call them out, and this is why we cannot. And I agree with with Darnell when he said we can't let him go. You know, this is something. Even he'll be coming home next year, but we
Right.
still can't stop the fight, man. Because the problem is, like you said, they give you a plea bargain and feel like that you got to accept it because you ain't got nobody. If you ain't got one of these high profile lawyers, you feel like you don't have a fight, you know,
Right.
and then you end up giving them this big 75% conviction rate. You know
You
what I
end up
mean?
a cog in the system.
Yeah, exactly,
That's all it is. We're
exactly.
cogs in a system because that's why I'm thankful for programs like New Way,
Yeah,
Sports Mentorship Academy
yeah,
that attempts to prevent these type
yeah,
of things happening to our kids.
yeah,
Um, and I think there needs to be more of that. There needs to be more preventable measures
yeah.
because our youth can be saved. You know,
I
Darnell
agree.
could have been saved.
I agree.
And what I mean by that is saved is that we feel them opportunities aren't there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we get out of prison and you know we go get a job
Yeah.
and then you know something happens and that boss don't want to understand him, our
And
POs don't want to understand and
so another factor on that, not to cut you off, sorry, brother,
oh, you good?
Chaz, but another factor is what happens. I mean, what don't get addressed is what the prison do to us.
Right,
That underlying mental illness, or I mean, mental health and trauma that the prison calls. So what happens is they break you down, but they don't have the programming and to build you back up. And
no, they
what
don't.
happens is the parole and the parole, the community and the probations, they're set up to put just to watch over you until you hang yourself again. And they don't do a whole lot of help. And it's something we've been addressing a lot here in the community of Rochester. I'm sure all across the nation, how they dropping the ball on inmates, and that's what's driving this recidivism rate up. You
Right,
know, they come home and you have a post incarceration syndrome where you're trying to you have this social awkwardness. You know, life society has changed since they left. You got to adjust to you know, job interviews and technology has changed and they just throw you out here with minimum program. And this is something I feel like that needs to be addressed as well, man. Because I work with a lot of people every day that with just that, you know, that post incarceration syndrome that you come home and you really don't know what to do, so you end up doing something to go back in unconsciously.
right. And that's where it be too. And I'm glad you point that out because there is, you know, my PO is still out of Rochester.
Yeah,
Uh, and I talk to her on a monthly, and
yeah,
there's not a lot that she can really do because the resources aren't there. So
exactly,
um,
exactly.
you have people, and I'm gonna, and these are her words, that you have a lot of lawmakers that don't want to put themselves or don't even want to go to the predicaments or the situations that are we face,
Yeah.
and instead just want to write legislation that
Oh
think
yeah.
is going to help, but really it's just a band-aid.
It's a band-aid. That's because the money ain't in the help in the solution. It's in the just the band-aid and the temporary fixes. That's
Right.
where the money is, you know, because yeah, that's a whole nother subject, man. I
Yeah,
could talk about
it
that for hours.
is. Right.
We could talk
No,
about that for hours, man. But man, this is a beautiful thing that y'all doing here, man. This podcast, this channel, man. I ain't know nothing about it, man. I'm definitely gonna support it, man. I'm to the
thank you.
fullest, man. Anything I can do, man. Anything I can set up too, man. I can get people on here, man. If you just tell me a
Yes,
name, I'll
I
get them
actually be
together.
making a I don't really post where I'm going too
Okay,
often, but I will be in Rochester Saturday
okay, okay.
for the grand opening of
SMA,
Bench
yeah,
Once. Yes, SMA has a special place in my heart.
yeah, yeah.
Always will. So I definitely want to be there for that opening, and I will be there.
Yeah,
Um,
I fortunately, even though I'm, you know, that's my brother, my big
yes,
brother. We do everything together. I'll be in Chicago for a funeral, man, for that
my
for the
condolences.
grand opening. But man, if there's any opportunities or anything you want me to do to help, with this movement, man. Count me in all the way, man. I wish I'd have knew you had this platform in advance, man. I would have been on top of it, man.
You know what's I know Marvino, she wants to do this every Wednesday. So
Oh
you are
man,
more
anytime
than
you want to
welcome
chat,
to join.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you know, I would
yeah.
love that to have somebody else on here. And as well, I want to set up events. Uh,
Okay,
you know, I think me and Marvina were talking about that earlier,
yeah.
doing an event of maybe going to the state capitol, getting these families together so that their voices are heard,
Oh
that
yeah,
stories are heard, because they, especially with Darnell, you know, they shouldn't be, nobody at that age should be sitting in prison and they didn't do nothing.
oh yeah. And it's a whole nother factor of what's been going on with him too. He has been some health issues that they had some neglect with the
Okay.
Department of Corrections. That's a whole other fight. I think Marvin could tell you a little bit more about that. That we're trying to get. He's lost some body parts from neglect on behalf of the Department of Corrections. So that's a whole other fight as well. But he's just been. I agree with you, man. You know, at this age, um, he's being convicted for something that they had no. I mean, they had nothing. Everything they had was all circumstantial, man, and it's been a tough road for him. Really tough, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate you having me, man. I'll be here every Wednesday, man. And if you know, if you think of somebody that, I mean, if you want to have conversation with some legislators, some senators, or whoever, man, you know who down here. You
Right.
know, we
Oh,
can get them on here, put them in the hot seat.
and I know, hey, the barber, I know, I see what y'all doing with the barbershop too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
love to collab.
Yeah, why not? Why not, man?
Definitely. That's
You know
what.
what we're gonna do? That some one of the next things we're gonna be doing on Barbershop Talk is talk about these overdoses, man, the fentanyl
Right.
epidemic, man. We got to cover that, man, because we losing a lot of little ones, man. We
Yes,
losing
we
a lot
are.
of our kids, man. And we're gonna cover that, and we trying to get some get a team of the right people together, man. So yeah, we'll keep you in tune with that too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for being on, and I look forward to doing this with you. So,
Yeah, no problem, man. I'll be here Wednesdays, man. I'm y'all got me here, man.
all
That's
right.
where my heart is, man. My heart always been with the people, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All
So
right.
you guys already know what it is. We'll be here next Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Tune in. Wrongfully Convicted, brought to you by the Leon Block. You guys have a great night.